good to still see some of our regulars checking in with us. Jacob Mashburn,
Yep.
Who is a regular.
Regular. Yep. Yep.
Let's see who else is on here. My old classmate of mine, Ben McEver. Yeah, he's always.
Keith Mentor.
Keith Mentor
Yep.
is here.
Absolutely. My man Dexter Printup. They should be able to hear it now. Okay. Are we live? Are we live? Can we hear it? Can we hear it? Okay, cool. They said working now.
Okay,
So
here we go.
So let's do this, Kim, if we can. Can you run that intro again? Okay, let's run the intro, and so that you guys can hear it all, baby. And we're going to get this thing kicked off for y'all. We got an awesome show for you.
To remain unbeaten and perhaps a player in the college football playoff and the 29th consecutive conference win. Blocked, snuffed, rubbed out, erased. And Georgia Tech with an opportunity. Austin still on his feet. One man. You can't believe what just happened. What a time to be alive.
That band, baby, because a player's perspective is back in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes,
we
sir.
We are back, kid.
Back and live in full effect.
Full effect,
yes,
baby.
Lord.
After a long layoff, a little hiatus.
Yes, just a little bit. We took a COVID break.
A COVID break. There you go. Absolutely. Got to have that little COVID message. Due to COVID, okay, we were not able to produce the show, and social distancing was basically our premise and our priority. So we wanted to be okay. Never mind. But it was great stuff, brother Ken. Miss you, man.
I missed you too, bro.
Yeah.
And it's something to talk on the phone,
right?
Because we've talked, consistently on the phone. Right. However, seeing a brother is good, man. It's good, man. It's good. It's good to be
Absolutely.
seen. And I'm glad. I'm glad we're being seen and not viewed.
Not viewed. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Another season. We didn't know if we were going to get here.
Ooh.
We didn't know if we were going to get here, but we did. And 2020 is going to kick off in a little different fashion.
Yes.
And but we are going to play some football this year.
Yeah.
And we are excited about that. Kim, you want to check the sound inside the studio, make sure that we're okay on that. I probably can lower that down a little bit. I want to get a double feedback on that. But 2020 is here. We got a little different structure too, Kim.
Yeah.
A little different structure. So before we do that, today's show is brought to you by the Covington Agency. Your boy is now an independent insurance agent out there taking care of families and friends in our communities, Ken.
Yes.
Knowledge is power, but know-how is key. So
Okay.
let's begin, brother.
Okay.
Let's begin.
Okay.
Let's begin the conversation.
I like that.
Absolutely. But we got an awesome show today, Ken. We got Ken Segura, okay, AJC sports writer for Georgia Tech.
Yes.
All right. He's going to be coming on pretty shortly.
Okay.
Okay. And so we got him on the 750 segment. And then later on, we got Kyle Surge Henderson.
Okay.
Okay. And he's going to be defensive line Georgia Tech's own Mr. Tweet. We're going to get into that in a second. And talk to him a little bit and bring him around. And then we're going to actually talk to one of our sponsors for today, Ken, from Speed Pro, Miss Liddy Brown.
Okay.
Okay, right here in Marietta. So you guys are going for a special treat tonight. I'm just glad to have you. Keep texting. Let us know what's going on. Let us know what's happening. Talk to us. Let us know what you want to talk about, and then let's have a great show.
That's right. And as always, please like and share the show.
Like and share the
and
show.
share the show with your friends, and call all Yellow Jackets fans who are here and who are abroad. Let them know that the boys are back.
The boys are back in town.
Back in town.
Now, you can check us out right here on Facebook Live. We also are going to be on Facebook. Look under Kim Jackson, Seven Springs Studio for a player's perspective over there. We're going to be on Instagram. We're going to be on Spreaker. So we're going to give it all to you like that. So without further ado, we're going to bring on our first guest of today, Mr. Ken Segura, AJC sports writer, sports beat writer. And he's coming in today to talk to us about some Yellow Jackets football and basically what he's experienced. So let's get him on the phone, Kim. Ken, are you there? All right, Ken, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing,
great.
buddy?
Doing good. I've been telling people, I wasn't sure if we would get to this point. I'm a little bit surprised, but I'm glad that football's almost here.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you guys are too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for taking some time out of your schedule and joining us here on A Player's Perspective. We're excited about this year. You have been up front and center, going through the ins and outs, the do's and the don'ts, the ifs and the maybe nots. Tell us a little bit about your experience through this, because I'm sure from your perspective as a sports writer, this has to be a very interesting year for you.
Yeah, interesting would be a good way to put it. Yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, I think just, certainly in going back to March when everything stopped and everyone got sent home, no one really knew how long this would last and that sort of thing. And then, as things extended, you were writing about, what are precautions that teams are taking, what is the ACC going to do, and then it gave us, some time to go back and revisit some other things like your 1990 team, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary. So it was kind of neat in that way that we wrote some stories that we probably wouldn't have otherwise.
Right.
So it's, and I think all along I kind of had this feeling of just certainly like once like the Ivy League and other FCS school leagues were canceling and it didn't seem like the numbers were getting better just community-wide that, was this going to happen? But yeah, slowly and surely it seems like it's kind of righted itself a little bit. And I mean, I'm glad to see that the power conferences are really ramping up their testing protocols. And I think it's kind of given what I've learned talking to epidemiologists. I think, the more you test, the much harder it's going to be for this disease to get past. So hopefully it'll go okay. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of, bumps and things we've never seen happen, but hopefully we'll get to the end and not too many pieces.
There you go.
There you go. Ken, this is Ken Swilling. I'll tell you what, it's good to hear your voice, brother. I wanted to know, I mean, we just going to get right into the middle of this thing. What have you seen? How much better will this team be than they were last year? All that good stuff. I need to know something. My people are they want to know.
Well, I mean, I think, and you probably know as well as I do, maybe even better. This team, I think you saw them get better over the course of last season. They were obviously, they took it hard against Virginia Tech and Georgia, but certainly you saw them getting better and doing the things they could do. You saw that there were some deficiencies, physically, but just the work that they've done over the offseason. Jeff Collins had that goal of every player putting on an average, or having team average 10-pound weight gain per player, which I don't know that they hit necessarily, but they obviously got a good bit towards that. And some players, gained a lot of weight, and others, just kind of got stronger. But so there's that, and then just the fact that they've been in this offense or defense for a year, and then they've added obviously a lot of really important or talented players. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of how you define or want to see improvement. I think you'll see it. I'm not totally 100% sure that you'll see that in a big jump in the win-loss record, just because, you look at how many games they lost by, 14 points, 20 points or whatever, that, you play Carolina again. Actually, they won't play Carolina specifically, but, some of these teams that they really lost badly to, maybe it doesn't feel any better to lose by 7 points instead of 21 points or whatever, but that's a sign that you're getting there. And I think there may be some of that, and I think they may have some breakthroughs and some big wins, but I guess as far as how much, I think it'll be noticeable. I don't know for sure that it'll be necessarily, something we'll see at the end of the season in terms of record.
Exactly. And so you're listening to Ken Segura of the AJC right here on the Player's Perspective. Now, Ken, have you actually been able to get out in the practices and actually watch them live? I mean, what are they doing with media, and how are you guys, I guess, positioning yourself right now through this pandemic on evaluating what's going on and how to even get a story to write about?
Well, you've seen as much of practice as I have. So they, for safety reasons and just, I think Jeff Collins has really acted out of an abundance of caution, and I totally respect that. But they've closed it off to media. Last year it was open. And so, what they do is, a few times a week they've had coaches and players on through Zoom, and you talk to them and kind of get their insights, and maybe you hear some stuff, in private conversations with others. But yeah, so unfortunately we haven't been able to watch anything so far.
So coming from a sports writer's perspective there, how has that really impacted you? I mean, what adjustments are you making to really do your job right
now? You're having to rely a lot on just kind of what you're hearing from the players and coaches, and you're kind of having to feel your way around in the dark a little bit more. Whereas, like last year, you go to practice, you see, they're working on this, or this player made a bunch of plays in the scrimmage, and so you're thinking, okay, well, I can have something to build off, and I know I can, when I talk to this player, I can say, I saw you make this play or that play, and you look big or whatever. So yeah, there's obviously bigger costs that are being paid, but yeah, so in some ways, yeah, you're kind of having to trust or just rely a lot more on what you're hearing from coaches and players, and not seeing what you're seeing with your own eyes. But it's interesting. I think, Paul Johnson, he did it that way, most of his time at Tech. And so in some ways they're kind of used to it. But being able to see practice at least for a year, it kind of gives you a very different perspective on what the team is and what they're doing.
Well, that sounds about right, about par for the course, as far as how has it affected you in doing your job. I'll tell you, I've listened to just about every teleconference that you guys have had, and it's been I guess that would be the biggest adjustment I think I've had to get used to, is actually having the Zoom calls. And I think I never knew Zoom was going to be this big a part of our lives. Right. If you'd have told me last year at this time that we would all be on Zoom conference calls, it would definitely have I told you were lying. So that being said, what are you going to do game wise? How are you going to, in-game stuff? And that has to be a real challenge because you're the beat writer.
Right. I appreciate your sympathy. Well, I think we'll go to all the home games. I know that. And then the road games, I'm planning on going to Florida State Saturday, but the others I'm not as sure about for different reasons, just in terms of travel. But yeah, I mean, it will be different. I think just the actual part of watching games and so forth will be the same, but like normally the way it's been done is after the game you go down to the, as you know, to the Edge Center, and they do the press conferences there, and it's just it's a difference between talking on FaceTime with someone and talking to them face to face. You just get a different feel from things, and the conversation is much easier, and so it'll be different. I guess it's what we did to the circumstances that we're dealing with, and we'll make the best of it.
We're wrapping up here with Mr. Ken Segura of the AJC, Georgia Tech sports beat writer, right here on the Player's Perspective. And this segment is brought to you by the Covington Agency, where actually knowledge is power and know-how is key. So let's begin. So Ken, getting into the season, I guess the biggest thing that we can be thankful for is that there will be something to write about, that there are going to be games played. And then we get a chance to see our Yellow Jackets go out there, and I say "our" because that's us, but but to get a chance to see them hit the field and see some improvements. You were talking about that, and you wrote about that in the article of the AJC. About an average of 6.9 pounds. If it wasn't for Mr. Coco, we would be about 7.79 pounds.
You ruined the curve.
Exactly. But some familiarity that's going on there, too. I remember my freshman year, 190, had to gain weight to be a tight end. And so I'm looking at, I think it's Mr. Billy Ward, gained about 30 pounds. I had to do about the same thing. But it's great to hear about the tight ends getting out there. Are you looking forward to more of a passing attack this year and maybe getting a chance to see the Yellow Jackets air that ball out? Or are you excited maybe about the running game because of the talent that we've acquired in the offseason coming into the 2020 season?
I guess having been conditioned to watching the option for the last 11 years. I guess. I mean, I'm a purist in that you have to run. I think you have to run the ball to be effective, and I think you play to your strengths. And obviously with Jordan Nixon coming back and Jemias coming back, and obviously people have been raving about Jahmyr Gibbs. I think you want to get those guys the ball as much as you can. And I think too, the offensive line should be better. Ryan Johnson, the right guard, is someone I'm really kind of curious to see how he does. And then Jordan Williams, the freshman at right tackle. It'd be great to see them hammer out, 150, 200-yard games and control games and set up, play action and maybe make it easier for, the quarterback to go deep. And I think, it kind of goes hand in hand. If you can run the ball, and Dave, not that this is any great secret, but Beno was saying, like, the more he can run and go downhill,
right,
the easier it makes it to play action. So, if they do one well, if they run well, I think you'll see the pass follow.
Yeah, and Ken, you that's a perfect segue. Somebody just asked me, who's playing quarterback? Get him to talk about who's playing quarterback. Because we've heard Coach talk about we'll know at 3:30. But if you had to make an educated kind of a program guess, who would you guess might be the starter or might take the first snaps beginning this 2020 season?
My guess would be Jeff Sims, the freshman from Jacksonville.
Wow.
I mean, I think which is a freshman starting in his first game in the stadium where he was committed to, and so if that happens, and my suspicion is it will, but not positive.
Yeah.
That'll be something. Yeah.
Well, that will be awesome. Well, Ken, we appreciate you stopping by today and joining us. Our stock just went up about 108%, and so we greatly appreciate you for coming on.
You know where I live, so you send them in my way.
I appreciate you, buddy. That's right. Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by with us today on The Player's Perspective, man. Have a great year. We're always going to look forward to your articles, and we look forward to seeing you out there, hopefully, and talking about a bunch of wins that a lot of people didn't expect us to have.
That'd be great. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. Take care.
All right. Okay, bye-bye.
That was Ken Segura, AJC sports writer for Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So, I think everybody's affected by COVID this year, Ken. And so, of course, with the sports writers are no different. And it's really kind of, for all of us, a wait-and-see type of situation.
Yeah.
Where we're going to just have to wait till 3:30 on Saturday to really know what's going on.
To kind of know what's going on. And I think this is, it's been crazy because this is probably the most disconnected I've been to sports, especially football.
Right.
Because by now we would have seen 4 NFL preseason games.
That's right.
We got an NFL game starting tonight. Right. I think today is a very odd day because you've got all 4 major sports kind of playing all at the same time. You got basketball playing tonight in the playoff games. You got baseball going. You got football starting tonight. You got MLS going on tonight. You got women's basketball going on tonight. So you got a whole bunch of different things going on, and college football is going on as well.
And the player's perspective is going on right now.
And the player's perspective is going on right now. So we're just excited about that. But that being said, though, it's been kind of hard to kind of keep up with who's who and what's going on and how good our team will be.
Yeah.
I can't tell you anything about the Falcons.
Okay.
I can tell you a little bit about Georgia Tech just because we're kind of connected to Georgia Tech in a certain way, and so I'm very excited. I'm not. I'm trying to temper my expectation a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I realize that this is just year 2, people.
That's it.
This is just year 2.
That's
we
it.
can't, but what I do expect from this year's team is to be a little bit more grounded, a little bit more athletic.
Mm-hmm.
You've had quite a few guys come back from last year's team. You've had quite a few on offense and defensive side of the ball, so I really think that this is going to be a time of growth.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of guys play last year, a lot of young guys play last year, and you'll have a lot of young guys play this year. So it's going to be very interesting to say the least. I just want to see, and then from what I'm hearing and from what I'm understanding, Mr. Segura's call on Jeff Sims might be accurate. Because they said he looks the part and he is a special kind of ball player. So.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I got a chance to coach last year the Westlake High School team, and one of the coaches that was on the team there was Michael Sims Walker.
Okay.
Now, Michael Sims Walker happened to be a pro wide receiver out of the University of Central Florida, big time receiver out of there, but his nephew.
Okay.
Is Mr. Jeff Sims.
Jeff Sims, okay.
So your boy got the inside. He got the inside.
Okay. All right.
Well, I ain't talked to Mike in a couple days. So, but basically, though, he told me that Tech has got a gem.
Okay.
He told me that this kid is the truth and that he is going to be really special and coming along and doing that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that would happen. Now, if that's the guy that Coach Patino has been talking about, he's been very impressed
Right.
with him. And he actually stated, and you guys can check it out on our webpage. Make sure you like us at A Player's Perspective on Facebook.com. But he talked about that we are going to really enjoy watching this kid play this year.
Right.
But I kind of had the same feeling about Graham.
I was going to say the same thing,
and because it was something that he said was that this kid really put work in the off season and put a lot of time in the film room to improve on his game. So to me, that kind of gave the edge to Graham.
I heard him talk the other day. I think I heard the same talk that you're talking about, but it seemed like it was one of those situations where Graham has really the game is starting to slow down a little bit for him, and so now he knows where to go with the football, and we know that that's a very important thing to have with when you play quarterback.
Right.
You got to know where to go.
Right.
You got to know where your outlets are, and you got to know where everybody's supposed to be and going to be doing every play.
Right.
So that being said, it could be Graham, it could be James, but I just want to see somebody getting out there doing, making plays and doing what they need to do.
Right.
And from what we understand about it all, a lot of kids are going to play.
A lot of kids.
And the guy that takes the first snap might not be the one to take the last snap. So,
well, I tell you, I mean, I'm a plumb idiot right now, and I'm so excited. Because, Ken, if you just kind of put together a few of these pieces, we now have a full stack of horses at the wide receiver position.
Yes.
Okay? People that have gotten bigger, stronger, faster. I mean, even Amarian has gained almost 10 pounds. 20 pounds.
Well,
he went from 150 to 170.
Okay.
That's 20 pounds.
Is that soaking wet?
Brother, we're going to find out at 3:30, right? But I tell you what, when he stood up at the podium, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it. Now, 20 pounds, right. I don't know. But at the same time, was he actually 150? I don't know.
Yeah.
But really it talked to the point and spoke to the point of their development in the offseason, and it sounds like they're really hungry about that. Here's another kick I want you to just chew on a little bit. You know how much we love Charlie Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a baller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's definitely a player's perspective baller of the year. You know,
He is a baller.
He's a baller. Yeah.
He's playing nickel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get that. I get that.
He's playing nickel.
I get that. I get that. I can
And
see
if
that.
you got that kind of talent playing nickel,
Yeah.
to where you feel like our linebacker core,
It's stronger.
okay,
Yeah.
Quez Jackson Curry,
Yeah.
okay, Demarius Knight,
Yeah.
okay, Demetrius Knight,
Demetrius Knight, yeah.
Demetrius Knight, and then you got what you call it? Who else was in the my boy Jerry Howard.
Jerry Howard. Yeah.
Okay, blame it on my mind, not my heart, Jerry. So it's, and then they talked about how Jerry has made a stark improvement so far as going from a running back
Well, sometimes when you let a kid play where he wants to play
and where he's supposed
and
to
where
play.
he's supposed to play, you know,
Then the natural talent comes out.
that natural talent comes out. It's just like taking, he and Bruce kind of switched positions this year. So Bruce Swilling is going to be in the backfield. Bruce Jordan Swilling is going to be in the backfield this year.
How's he doing? How's he doing?
He's doing great.
He's healed up. He's healed up.
He's healed up.
He had a broken foot or something last time, right?
He had some issues, but he's doing well and looking pretty good.
Okay.
But Bruce was a natural running back. He was Mr. Louisiana,
Right.
when he came to Georgia Tech.
Right.
So and he couldn't get on the field at running back, but they moved him to linebacker, and sometimes it just don't work like
just
that.
doesn't work, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what both of those guys do. Both of those guys are seniors now.
Yeah.
So it's still one of those situations where they can get acclimated into their natural positions, and heck, you never know. You
just never know. I mean, the size right now up front is impressive.
Yes.
Okay, so our front line is looking very good right now.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got to see them play, get out there, have some competition, see how well they stack up.
Right.
But we got a freshman that they're talking about, almost like he's a third-year guy, and how well he's doing with Mr. Jordan Williams.
Yeah, Jordan
So
Williams,
that's
yes.
impressive because we're talking about to the point of how well we're recruiting now.
Right.
Okay, so now people are coming in and being able to play, not just because we need them, but because they're doing very well on the field and they deserve it.
Right.
Okay, so now you got that. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, Jemias Griffin, okay, and then our boy J.P. Morgan.
Right.
Okay, that's in the backfield of a three to where Coach was talking about. Coach P was saying he wouldn't even trade him
Right.
for anybody in the country right now. Now, of course, but we take it a little bit, but I think that's an impressive statement because he didn't have to say that.
Right, he didn't have to say it. And the thing about it with those the three names that you just mentioned, when you look at Jordan Mason coming back, JP coming back this year, he had coming off a really good year from last year.
Yeah.
Where he was a dominant runner.
Right.
And now you've got these two young studs coming right behind him. It's going to be interesting to see just how good and how well. I want to see Jahmyr Gibbs. That's
Yes.
really who I'm hoping they give him an opportunity, and I believe they will because they did the same thing with Jemias. They kind of brought Jemias on a little bit slower last year.
Right.
But these kids are really coming in bigger, faster, stronger, ready to play at this level right away. And and it just goes to show you that when you work hard, when you do those things, you buy into the culture. And I can tell you one thing that I've noticed just listening to. And the way I know the team is bought into the culture.
Right.
When you start hearing players sound like the coach, when you start hearing players kind of regurgitate those things that are being said to them over and over and over again, you know that they're kind of buying in and they're starting to believe this thing.
That's right.
They're starting to believe this thing. I had to go back and bleed back to some times that we had when you might be at a press conference and you almost wanted to start doing like this because that was Coach that was Coach Ross. He was sitting there talking with his hand and doing this, that, and the third.
That's right.
But he put us in that situation, and he start giving you quotable stuff, and you start quoting, and the next thing you know, you're saying stuff. But that's the one thing I do notice about this team. everybody that talks in front of a mic sounds like Jeff Collins almost. They still have that same passion, that same energy, that same drive. And Coach has been a great salesman of the program.
Yeah.
He's been a great face of the program thus far. Now we just got to get it turned into those things that are positive, turn them, tweak them a little bit more, and see how they produce wins. Now, and I'll go ahead and say it. I'll be the first to say it. I don't know how many wins we're going to come out with this year.
Right.
I don't even know if what we see that we think is good or think is better is going to be better as far as wins and losses.
Right.
We could end up with 4 wins again. We could end up in a situation like that again. The ACC was not favorable for us as far as the rescheduling, so we got everybody.
Well, now and you talk to that. Let's speak on that just for a second, and we're expecting our Kyle Surge Henderson to give us a call in. He's our next guest for our next segment. Our next segment that's going to be sponsored by Speed Pro. Speed Pro in Marietta, where you need to get your signage and your advertisement materials together. Check out Miss Liddy Brown in Marietta, Georgia at Speed Pro. But it's one of those things that now we don't have a Coastal and Atlantic anymore.
Right.
Okay, it's just the ACC.
It's just ACC. Right.
How you like that?
I kind of like that deal.
Yeah.
But that being said, you getting the you're getting the brunt of the blow with everybody. So you're playing the North Carolinas, you're playing the Florida States, you're playing the Clemsons, you're playing everybody that's hot, you're playing the Notre Dames, you're playing all of these people that's hot. And did you see Notre Dame just run to try to get in the conference, man?
Look at that.
Man, I can't stand them.
That's the only thing. I'll tell you what. I'm happy that they're in there because I thought that's what they should have done in the beginning.
Right.
But I hate it because they end up always doing what they want to do. You see what I'm saying? It's like whatever Notre Dame feels like they want to do, everybody allows them to do it. And that's the one thing I hated about Notre Dame all the time. You know? Being an independent. Never wanted to join anything. Always getting that little favoritism when it came to the selection in the top 4 or whatever it was. But let's bring on one of Georgia Tech's greats, our Georgia Tech's own Kyle Surge Henderson, defensive lineman out of Georgia Tech from 2014 to 2018. Kyle, how you doing, brother? Welcome to A Player's Perspective.
I'm well. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We are awesome. Ken and I, man, are just excited, man, to talk to you, to hear about what's been going on. You've had a lot going on, sir, and I also hear that you're coaching now and got a chance to do some things at your home school. But give us an idea of what you've been doing from the time that you left Georgia Tech.
Right. So after I got out, I tried to play professionally for a little bit. I had a workout with the Bucks. I had 2 workouts with the Bucks, and I went to Edmonton for a few weeks. None of that ended up working out, which it happens. So I came back to Atlanta. Didn't have a job for a few months, and I got an internship with a paving construction company. Long story short, I rode that internship out for a few months, and then I got the full-time position in January. And then after COVID started hitting, really roughly, I got laid off in late June.
Okay.
So a couple months ago. And then after I got laid off, I kind of was like, dang, I don't know what to do now. I thought I was going to be with this company for a while because I started out so young. So I just, I started calling people, really just asking for more than anything, advice.
Right.
And the common goal, people were telling me to do is just like, find what I'm passionate about, find what, I wouldn't mind doing for free, but I wouldn't tell anybody I'd do it for free. And just kind of, see what happens. So, around like April, I had started, volunteering at my high school just to be around, not really expecting to get into a, full-time coaching position.
Right.
And then after I got laid off, I was like, you know what? Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is supposed to be the next step in my life. So, I opened it up, and I've stopped applying for jobs because I figured that if I want to get into coaching, I got to learn how to be a great coach.
Right. Well, good. That's good stuff, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
Congratulations to getting the chance to do something that you love.
Hey, Kyle, this is Ken Swilling. Man, it's so good to talk to you, and can't wait to one day see you again. But talk about that. Talk about the you talked about the coaching aspect of it. How different has that been? You're not that far removed from playing, and that was one of the reasons I couldn't coach, because I knew I could still play at your age. So that would have made it hard. And now I could probably do it, but back then I don't think I could get into it knowing that I felt like I could still do some things. So talk to that a little bit and see, just tell us how that has been for you.
Yeah, so I'd be remiss if I said I didn't miss playing, but like I've told a lot of my buddies, just being out there, coaching, it's as close as I'm going to get at this point, right? Like there's not going to be, I haven't really been working out to try to land an NFL team or anything like that. So, I let the dream go, but I'm holding on at the same time through coaching.
Yeah.
And it's been a learning experience because, Plant, I don't know if you guys know that much about my high school, but we have a pretty good tradition of, winning state championships and putting guys in D1 level. But, now it's not the same as what it used to be. So none of the D linemen are, I tell them this every day, like none of y'all are half as good as I was. But realistically, I just had to realize, like, I can't expect them to, go as hard as I was.
Yeah.
Or, like I said, being as talented as I was, because everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had to kind of figure out each player's niche and kind of tailor how I teach them through it. But they've come a long way just in a few months I've been with them. They couldn't really club grip when I first got it. Now I got them spinning and cross chopping and all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah. And that's a good thing that you're able to pour into them. But I was getting ready to say, you sounded like a disgruntled old man there for a minute. you sound like me and Tons back when we played.
I be having to catch myself because I'm like, yeah, I got the bald head, but I'm only 23 now. I can still move. So when I'm explaining drills to them, I run through the drill first, and they be like, "Damn, coach."
Well, it's very interesting. I had a chance to coach high school last year, and then of course, when you graduate from the high school level to the college level, the game just becomes that much more intense. Your activity is more intense. You actually are demanded and asked more of you to do more, and then when you go back to the high school, you got a lot of kids that haven't learned that lesson yet. So I can understand some of the frustration that you had. And then, you've kind of lived a mature life. I mean, you were married in college, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so, and you actually had a family and everything else. And so the maturity level kind of rises, and then you kind of working with kids that are just trying to figure that thing out. So, I know you got frustrated. So how'd you take your frustration out?
So the thing is, I kind of when I catch myself getting frustrated at the things that they aren't able to do,
right,
I sit back and I'm like, okay, well, if they can't do this, then maybe we should work on something a little different, right? But I don't lax off of them too much, because if I don't have any type of,
constructive.
That's what it is. If I don't have a certain goal for them, or if I don't have a certain expectation, they won't have anything to, live up to.
Right. There you go.
So if I'm teaching them how to do something, and like I said, they're not good at it, I'll either slow it down so it makes sense to them, or I'll say, you know what, on this instead. Something that might be a little more simple for them. But I do give them a lot of college flavor. Like, I literally tell them every day, like, listen, I might sound cocky, but the things I'm teaching y'all, there's not a lot of other high school coaches that are doing that at other high school programs.
There you go.
So,
and that's one thing about it, Kyle. When you have that situation where you can pour that into other guys, and a lot of it will run off and be in the saucer, of course. And but when you get one guy that it does stick with, it's got to make you feel pretty good when you get somebody that actually does something. Say, for instance, in a game or in a practice that you've been talking about and been teaching them, and all of a sudden, they pull it out and now they're doing it in a real live situation. That's got to make you feel pretty good, though.
Right. Yeah. Literally, and it's crazy you say that because so at Plant we have Wednesday night practice, and at the end of practice we'll do like a team session, like ones, best on best, like a 2-minute situation. And I literally was telling them earlier. One guy, his name's Nick. Telling him, look, you're fast enough to step outside, run upfield and spin back inside. At end, and he did it, and I literally like screamed. And everybody looked like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I just told him to do that. I'm glad he used it." And then that is obviously like a serious thing, right? And then I was like, "Okay, let me whip out some football smart." So 2-minute offense. The offense is moving on us. I told one of my D linemen after the play, drop down and act like he got a cramp so we could get a sub in. and when he did it, I just died laughing. And the head coach was like, "I'm glad you did that because I didn't, I wouldn't have thought about that." And like I was like, "Yeah, you'd be surprised how often people do it in college."
Oh man, every time. Hey, don't let that no huddle come out. Oh boy, that like somebody catching a cramp or doing something. Hey man.
I need it. Come on.
Well, now let's get to some of the nitty gritty now, because you big money nowadays. There was you should have called your boy.
It's out there.
Yeah,
it's out there.
You should have called your boy to frame that question or that challenge a little bit differently. But hey, in the Twitter world, it's a buzz right now, and I got people that don't even know about football right now asking me how they can get down on this deal. But tell me, you just as passionate as we are about our Yellow Jackets, and I agree with you. I mean, I don't see us being last. I see us doing a lot better this year. But what sparked that? What made you? What was the impetus behind you actually putting that challenge out to everybody?
Like I said, to Ken. I don't know if you guys know Ken, but me and Ken talk. And honestly, I was just driving, back to Florida from Georgia. I went to a wedding, and on my drive, I was scrolling on Twitter. Obviously, I wasn't the one driving, but and I saw the ACC's top 15 predictions, and the ACC never really shows Tech respect, but
Right.
I felt like dead last was like a big slap in the face once you sit down and actually consider, what guys are coming back, like the guys that were cleared, like what they've done in college and on the lower level. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, like I said, to me, it was just like so much disrespect, and I was just like, you know what? Like I'm willing to wager.
Right.
So I was like, okay, how am I gonna say this? And then I literally just typed it up and I sent it, not expecting to get any type of traction. Like, I thought it would have got a couple ha-has and like maybe 5 retweets. But last time I checked, it was like 1,100. And I'm like,
So did you call the boys and let them know that, hey, they got to come through for you?
Yeah, I still talked to almost all the D linemen that are still on the team.
Okay.
And, they saw the tweet. And I was like, hey, y'all got business to work on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all got some things to do. But, besides that, though, we never really talk about football per se. We'll talk about funny things that we see. But,
right.
I kind of had to chime in and let them know, like, hey, man, this is going to be a turning point for y'all, right? Like,
right.
This isn't last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody's going to say, oh, well, they had to do this or that. Like, nah, like now's the time to turn up. Like, now's the time to show what Tech is about. So yeah, I mean, and if anybody wants, if that was to happen, right? Let's say hell freezes over and Tech finishes last. I would send my address to anybody willing to come get their money.
Mm-hmm,
So
right. Well, that's all right, brother. We can find you some refuge somewhere to get you up out of town.
I'm either high somewhere.
Well, I mean, we really appreciate you giving us a call here on A Player's Perspective. The best talk, sports talk, that Yellow Jacket talk, right here live on Facebook. And this segment is brought to you by Speed Pro of Marietta. Check out Miss Liddy Brown out there in Marietta, and we're going to have her on the call in just a second. But Kyle, I mean, I know you miss it. What do you think about playing and having an opportunity to maybe even be out there at this time right now? Are you kind of happy at where you've been, or would you like to actually have another chance to get out there and play under Coach Collins again this year?
Man, if I could, I would.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's cliche, right? Like, everybody, once you're done, you kind of realize, like, holy crap, now I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
Right.
But I feel like, with this new staff, it's like a lot more excitement.
Yeah.
I guess you can say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Surrounding the place, surrounding everything. Like, they got turf field and LED lights now. So hell yeah.
Kyle, we wanted to play on the grass.
That's
see,
right.
we came to Georgia Tech being told that it would one day be a grass field.
Right.
And the next thing we knew, we saw them tearing up the old turf, and they tore up the old turf and put down more turf. So
put the concrete stuff.
There you go.
There you go. Well, we're wrapping up here with defensive line Kyle Surge Henderson, Georgia Tech's own. Give us an idea of what you know, if anything, about Mr. Tucker Gleason, an old alum with you over at Plant High School in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah. So in my opinion, right, I don't know much about anything besides football, but.
Right.
I think Tuck is going to be a quality guy.
Yeah.
I've talked to him a few times just off the strength of us, going to both being through Plant and him now being at Tech. And I've seen him play when he was at Plant. And I like I said, I really think he's going to be a guy. I don't know who's going to start, right? Selfishly, I would love for him to start because he did go to my alma mater.
Yep.
Right.
But, whatever presents the best opportunity for those guys to win, it is what it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
But honestly, I do think he's going to be a big threat.
Yeah.
A big threat.
Well, give us a prediction then for Georgia Tech this year. Give us a record there, and then also give us a prediction for Plant High School this year.
8 games. God willing that nobody has to stop because of COVID.
Right.
So I'm gonna say 8-0 on our side.
Okay.
And then for Tech, I can't remember exactly how many games they're playing this year. Isn't it?
They're
12?
playing 11. They're playing 11.
Yeah.
Only out of conference
it's
game
11.
is the University of Central Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So 11-0. So,
There you go.
Because if you don't think you can win, nobody else will.
Hey, buddy, you better believe it. You better believe it.
I'm telling you.
I tell you what, you've been watching our show. That's what I know. You've been hearing what we've been talking about. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother, for taking the time out your schedule.
Absolutely, I appreciate you.
We'd like to have you back sometime in the season where we can kind of get an update, and then and we can go from there. But thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be with us today here on A Player's Perspective.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, have a great
All right,
evening.
have a great evening.
Well, there it is. Mr. Kyle Surge Henderson.
Yeah.
That's right, D-line, man. So
Man.
the D-line, I think it's going to be improved this year.
It's gonna be improved. And I'll tell you that's one guy I'm waiting to see.
Yeah.
That Antonius Clayton. I really want to see what he brings to the table.
Right.
We've been waiting, and out of all the clearance that was given last year and the latitude that was given last year by the NCAA, I don't know how he couldn't get a waiver and play with us last year.
We got the short end of the stick on a lot of that.
Yeah.
Derek Allen, Ezra, but all of them are playing now.
Right.
Ezra, they're all playing now, and they're all hungry.
Hungry, right? Exactly.
And that was the one thing that was gut wrenching for me to actually see possibly this season get canceled, and them to have to go through that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would have been rough. That would have been really rough.
Awful.
Yes. Yeah.
That would have been awful. Well, guys, I want you to take a listen to one of our sponsors tonight. We got an awesome lady by the name of Miss Liddy Brown. She has a awesome, phenomenal shop. It's called Speed Pro. For all your printing, sign, graphics, all those different things. I invited her to come on the show tonight, talk about her shop, let her know what's going on, so that we can actually get a chance to understand what she does and we can support her. So come on, Liddy. Are you there?
I'm here. Thank you, Thomas.
Hey, good to hear from you. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Well, tell me what's going on in the graphics world.
Well, signs are being made. I will tell you that. Thank you for that. We are Speed Pro Marietta, located in Marietta, Georgia, right between Whitewater and the Big Chicken.
Yeah.
We specialize in all things graphics. So anything from your vehicle graphics or stickers, we're doing quite a few of those. People are trying to advertise, at least on their cars, since nobody can get out to see them.
Right.
And then we're doing quite a bit of COVID signs. If you need social distancing signs in your stores, restaurants, any location, we can customize those and print those for you, and just about any other type of signage. One of the things we're doing for one of the colleges, we're doing some wall graphics and putting the logos on the walls of three-dimensional signage logos. So we have a wide range of graphic printing opportunities for any of your customers or any of those that might be listening.
Awesome. That is great. And so it sounds like that you've been very busy. With this COVID situation, there's been a lot of impacts on a lot of different businesses, but I can definitely hear how, things could be very good for you right now. Would you say so?
Yeah, I will say what I tell a lot of people, we're hanging in there.
Yeah.
We've lost a segment of our business because you don't have trade shows. We don't have any sporting events. We print for a number of the pro teams, the Falcons, the Atlanta Dream, the Hawks, and the Braves. We've done some printing for them. And so when you don't have those quick turnaround opportunities for advertising, that takes a little bit of bite out. But we've been fortunate because people still need information, and signage is still the best way to do it. So we're fortunate that we are hanging in. We were able to acquire the PPP loans, which has also helped.
Awesome.
Like it's helped quite a few small businesses. So support your small business. That's the only way we're all going to make it is for you guys to come out and support us.
Now, did you get any of that the cutouts that are being placed in the stands at Brave Stadium and all that kind of stuff?
I did not.
Well, talk to Georgia
wish I
Tech. We'll
had.
try to get you hooked up down there so we can get some of those cutouts in our stands for this year too.
Because we can do those.
Okay.
We can do those and customize them. You send me you guys send me your headshot from your waist up. We could cut you out, or we can even make a 6-footer.
There you go.
That would be nice. That would be so nice.
Yeah.
I need a driving buddy for the HOV lane.
Stay off of that HOV lane.
Well, Liddy, give us some information on how we can contact you and where we can find you on the web.
Okay, so if you go to speedpromarietta.com, it will take you to our website, and you'll see a lot of images on there, graphics of jobs that we've completed. And you can call us at 770-693-1767. We answer the phone. It's the small staff that's in there. We're very agile. And then email us at ordersmarietta, ORDERS MARIETTA, ordersmarietta @speedpro.com, SPEEDPRO.
Awesome. And all you guys out there listening in, when you give her a call, let her know that you heard about her right here on the Player's Perspective. And then support her. Support your local businesses. Support Speed Pro. Miss Liddy, I know her for a long time, and I know that she'll take care of you guys and do the right thing by you. Liddy, thank you so much for taking time.
If they mention you in the show, we will be more than happy to give them a 10% discount off their first order.
Oh, that's all
there it
right.
is.
That's all right.
Ching ching.
Ching ching, y'all. Ching ching. That sounds great. Well, we appreciate you doing that for them. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule and coming on the show tonight. It's an awesome time for a sports fan and for football fans, and so we're excited about this upcoming season, and we're also excited about Speed Pro in Marietta. Thank you so much, Liddy.
Thank you. All right. My business partner is a Georgia Tech grad.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. There they see greatness, y'all. Greatness.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Thank you, Liddy.
Here.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a great one.
Well, there you have it, folks. Miss Lady Brown and Speed Pro. Ken, at Florida State.
Yes.
Okay, we started the show talking about the last little counter that we had. Florida State was undefeated.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech took them down.
Yes.
Okay, a little bit earlier than that, back in 2009
Yeah.
or 2008, we had the fumble at the goal line
Yeah,
and preserved the victory.
Yeah.
I think somewhere in between there, we had the old fumble and then the take back
Right.
from Mr. Josh Nesbitt. So we've been having some success against Florida State. Can we continue?
Right. I think we can. They're just as unknown as probably we are right now. They've got a new coach coming in, coach from Memphis coming in. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they translate. And we know they got talent over there. We know they have a lot of awesome talent. Florida State has historically been a school that can recruit well and have talent. And I think just over the past few years, they have not had a chance to coach that talent up to the degree that they can translate that talent into wins. And here it is now. They've got a good coach coming in, and so it's going to be a situation where we'll see. I think the question will have to be answered at 3:30.
They sure will.
They've got kind of a seasoned quarterback who's started and been in the fire since he was a freshman.
Yeah.
But that being said, this is still a new system for him. This is like his third or fourth system that he's had to be in, and it's just like I said, it's just going to be one of those situations where we'll see. We know they're going to be talented.
Yes.
We know they're going to have running backs and wide receivers and people that can make plays all over the place. And my interest right now is not Florida State. My interest is what Georgia Tech is going to be like and what they're going to do.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what. When I look at it on paper, Ken, we match up size wise.
Yeah.
They're right across the board, defensive line, offensive line. The way that we get out there, and we even have the advantage, I think, in several different places on the field, to where their offensive line is lighter than our offensive line.
Right.
And so it's really going to come down to getting out there and scrapping.
Yeah.
Getting out there and doing your job, dominating the guy in front of you, making more plays than they do. I think FSU is caught up in that little cycle of trying to understand who they are and what they're going to do. Now, Mike Norvell coming out of Memphis, Norvell, he's an excellent coach.
Right.
But I think he's facing a lot of things, not the talent stuff, but just the transformation of being the new guy, following somebody that actually didn't quite do a good job and pretty much had the whole organization up in arms, right? But he's got to kind of re-educate, relearn, and undo some things to get things back on track.
And that's going to be the challenge.
Yep.
I think that's the hurdle that Georgia Tech has kind of leapt over that hurdle, and now everybody's on the same page. And as we talked about before, everybody's speaking the same language and doing the things that the coach wants to be done. That's the Coach Norvell has to have that happen within the program there at Florida State. And I believe it will. It just might not happen Saturday.
Okay.
I think it's just going to take some. It's going to take some time for that situation to kind of turn itself and undo itself and get back on the right track. But it does help when you got talent.
Right.
Because we always talk about it, Jimmy's and Joe's.
That's right. That's right. The X's and O's and Jimmy's and Joe's. And speaking of that, as we wrap up here on the player's perspective on our kickoff show for the 2020 season, Cam Akers is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Corbin takes his place. Now, speaking to a lot of people, or listening to a lot of people that have observed what's going on down there, there's a drop-off.
Right.
Okay, so far as what that talent's going to be. A lot of issues with Blackman last year at the quarterback position. So they pretty much he's the best of what they have right now.
Right now. Right.
Offensive line has always been an issue for Florida State. Okay, defensive line has always been their go-to and what they do. So it's going to come down to how well we protect against them and what we can do to make that happen. We're 12 points. We're 12 and a half point dogs, I think it is, going into this game. But, Ken, I really think we have a great chance in this game to go down to Tallahassee and come out with a victory.
I mean, I feel the same way. I want us to win.
Yeah.
At 12.5 points, I don't see that big a difference and that big a disparity. You know, I think Georgia Tech, the game is a lot closer than that. The game, you know, it's a 7-point game either way you go.
Yeah.
And I think just because it's COVID and because we got new stuff going on everywhere, and new protocols going on everywhere.
Exactly.
That adds, you know, game days are always kind of stressful, but when you add that layer of we're traveling, we're on the road.
Yeah.
Each player has a different protocol now of when and how they're getting on the bus, where they're masking up. And from Coach Collins talking this week, I was like, oh my God, you almost got to get there on Wednesday to get to the stadium on time on on Saturday, you know, because they've got so many different protocols that they have to go through.
Right.
They've got the 3 buses leaving at 3 different times and certain groups going in certain times. And, you know, that's a whole lot more to remember.
Yeah.
A whole lot more to be responsible for.
But be mindful, too, that there's no crowds. It's like no crowd.
No crowd, right.
So it's really like a whole lot less traffic that you got to fight through.
Yeah, and that's going to be true and all that good stuff, which is fine. But, you know, that being, I'm just talking about from the player's perspective and, you know, how we like the stuff to be simple. ABC, let's go, let's do this. And we straight line to the game, and we have our routine. Now, a lot of these guys will have to change up their pregame routine because they talked about a pregame. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're talking about not eating together. You're talking about getting a sack lunch or getting whatever it is, and going up to your room and eating and all that stuff.
Pre-game meals.
Yeah, pre-game meals. Well, Tom, we just got some real heartbreaking news. If you want to,
it's unconfirmed.
It's unconfirmed.
It's unconfirmed.
Yes.
We will check it out, but I sure hope it's not true.
Yeah.
I sure hope it's not true. But Antonius Clayton is suspected to have a torn ACL
Possibly.
and would be out for this game. So. Not sure, you know, where they heard that from or what's going on. You know, we pray that that's not true, because I know this brother wants to play.
Yeah.
And I know we need him to play.
I know we need him to play.
You know, and so that would be the last thing that would happen. So let's lift them up in prayer, folks. And wish that whatever that news was just a hoax. I hate to even put that word out there. That's all you hear nowadays, right? About the hoax. But listen, I think we had a great show, Ken.
Yeah, I think it's good.
You guys like the new digs?
Yeah.
Y'all like the new digs?
Well, even if they don't like them, I love them.
I love them.
I love them.
I absolutely love them.
We can't get out of here without saying what we think the season is going to be before we go.
Gotcha.
Gotta say.
Ken, I am a firm believer that it is going to be at least 6 wins.
Okay.
But it is a grueling schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 9 opponents that we play are all ranked.
Right.
Okay, and we're playing in this vertical alignment conference right now, which technically I love, man. I mean, you know, you look at what our schedule was to what it is now, is absolutely beautiful. I mean, as a player, you want to play the best.
You want to play the best.
And I mean, to have Louisville coming in town when they're on the top of their game and the way that they went out last year, and Notre Dame is coming to town, and we still have Clemson and Florida State, and I mean, this is going to be an exciting year, and I'm looking forward to us surprising some folks this year.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very challenging. If you want to know what the program is, here it is.
That's it. Well, I tell you what, you run through this schedule this year, you have definitely reasserted yourself as one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah.
And actually have declared that Georgia Tech is back. Now to do that in 2 years, it would be phenomenal.
It would be phenomenal, and I just can't wait for the future. I think the future is very bright at Georgia Tech, and now you know they've got some guys already committed for 2021.
Yep.
And you know you see this layering of talent that is coming that Coach talked about from day one. He's talked about layering that talent. And,
right.
and really building a program over again. So, and outside of what we know will be different Saturday, the main thing will be that offensive line,
Yes,
that defensive line, that size,
right,
and all of that good stuff that has that is changing at Georgia Tech. So I'm excited, brother, and I think Georgia Tech has an opportunity and probably will win. I want to give us the 6 games. I want us to win at least 6 games, get us eligible. I mean, I'm not that there are going to be any bowl games this year, but
right,
but
right.
in a
But
year
you would have been right.
you would have been eligible for a bowl. You would have been. You want to see that progression because you don't want to see all the exterior stuff change and nothing really change as far as wins and losses.
Exactly.
You want to see that that kind of progress and be what it needs to be.
So let's wrap it up with this, Ken. Remember, Covington Agency, you guys support me. Okay, the boy is an independent agent out there doing all things insurance. You need some help with your auto, home. You need some help with benefits at your job. You need some help with Medicare. You need some help with the commercials claim. Anything that you need out there, I got you. Give me a call at 404-596-3951. Check me out at football on Facebook at facebook.com at my agent Thomas Covington. But tell me this, Trey Swilling.
Yes.
How many picks?
3.
Defense. How many points they going to give up this year per the average points against?
Points against.
Yes.
17.
And offense points for.
Points for. They'll score at least 24 points a game.
Awesome. Right there. That's a winning record.
I mean, could be.
It could be. It could be. Shout out to my tight ends out there and Coach Weezy. And let's have a great year this year, guys. Keep joining us over here on Thursday nights at 7:30. Join us in our new digs. Let everybody know about what's going on right here on the Players Perspective. We need you. We love you. We're still going to support each other and have a great day and great year. We're going to work through this. We're going to work through this together. And we were excited about actually coming back, being live and direct from Seven Springs Studio. To my man Kim behind the glass.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank all of our guests today, Mr. Ken Segura from the AJC, sports writer for Georgia Tech football, and Mr. Kyle Serge Henderson, defensive lineman for Georgia Tech, now defensive line coach at his alma mater, Plant High School in Tampa, Florida. And then also our special guest today, Miss Liddy Brown from Speed Pro Marietta. Check her out, everybody. And if you mention us, she says she's going to give you a 10% discount. Hook them signs up and them graphics. Go on and put that GT graphics all over your car this year. Show your love to the Georgia Tech Athletics Program. Good luck, GT. We're behind you. We'll come back to you and give you some feedback after the game and let you know what's going on. Ken, you got any other words?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm straight. I feel good. I feel all right.
Yeah.
Down in the city of my soul, as I would say.
You want to take us out with a song?
No. I'm not singing. I got a story about that, but I'm not. I'm not singing tonight. No.
Well, hashtag Jackets for Life. You guys have a great day. Take care of yourself. Peace out to next week. All right. Have a great one. We love you.
Love you. Peace.
To remain unbeaten and perhaps a player in the college football playoff and the 29th consecutive conference win. Blocked, snuffed, rubbed out, erased. And Georgia Tech with an opportunity. Austin still on his feet. One man. You can't believe what just happened. What a time to be alive!